Well, before we hop into pedals, why don't you let that rip for a second? Let me just get, yeah.
You can hear, even with all the gain, you can hear every... But it has that nice crunch and bite to it.
Now, is that all gain from the head, or are you running a pedal?
The pedal I'm using is, the gain's pretty much off on it, but it
so
does...
you're using for a boost or something?
It's kind of, yeah, like more like an EQ boost, but it does have a little bit of like a gain boost on it. Like what I do, on here there's like, it's like, it turns the circuit somehow into like, kind of how like Marshall 800s did that for the gain channel stages. There's something in there like that I hit that gives it just a little bit of a boost, but it's like I'm trying to use most of the gain out of the amp.
Yeah, I mean, there should be plenty of gain.
Yeah, actually there's too much.
You have to dial it back a little bit?
I dial that back just to get a little bit better of a crunch tone out of it, and that pedal helps out a lot.
Well, before we get to those pedals, you got some pedals that I don't recognize here.
We're gonna...
So let's go through the chain and see what else we got. The whammy, that's kind of a classic.
We do a couple things where I have some harmonized parts.
Yeah, so I was gonna say, are you using it for
catch
shifting? That's cool. And then
then actually next in chain is the Hellmouth, which is an abominable pedal. Like good friend of ours, his name's Patrick, runs this. He basically builds all the pedals himself.
Awesome.
And there's a couple
killer artwork.
Yeah, he does like screen prints them. They look gorgeous. Like Kurt Ballou uses them. There's actually a Kurt Ballou special edition Hell Stash that's very similar to this one, but it has a little bit of what Kurt does, you know. Reba from Code Orange uses these pedals.
Cool.
I know a lot of like some of those like up and coming like Harm's Way. I think some of those guys use them.
Cool.
So,
that rules.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a beautiful pedal. And so what are those? What is the other toggle?
So the next, this over here, actually this one toggles between the TS9 and the TS808 circuit.
Rad.
So you can swap before, and you really like. It's so slightly distinct.
What is that, volume, tone, and
yeah, so you have volume, tone, gain, and then this is like a little bit, that little boost gain.
Yeah, so you have the gain pretty much all the way down.
Yeah, it's all the way down, and then I pop this little gain booster up on its own. So this one does that, and then this, just your normal, you know, hit, and then this clipping diode thing's kind of neat, which it's the only way these little lights come on, which I like. Yeah. But it gives you like a little bit more of a, I don't even know how to explain, just that it's a slight, like, gain boost. It's real strange.
Can you hear a discernible difference between the 808 and the...
It's not really. Like, here, if I do... Let me put this here up. This is the TS9 circuit. And then here's the 808 circuit. Just
very subtle.
Yeah.
It almost has more of a brown sound or
Yes.
something like that. Yeah.
So it's real subtle, but I mean, I've always liked the 808, so I use that one. And then next guy in this chain is his. So
you're gonna get some shit for that.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some shit for it, but it's a killer pedal. It's called the Hell Satan. It's basically like a big muff pedal. It's a regular pedal though. It's not the Russian one. And this thing's just, it's like Doom City.
So you're just using it for certain parts?
Yeah, like there's certain parts where I'll pop and get away from like the more crunchy stuff and just use this one, which is more just a. You know, when we want our sleep parts.
Dark, doomy. Yeah, I like that. And then...
yes, so this next pedal is a pedal that Patrick did for us. He's actually been a fan for a long time, and we became pretty good friends now. But he did, when he found out that we, like, I kind of followed his page, and I brought up about the Hellmouth, how much I liked it. And he's like, well, what pedal like do you need, or what pedal would you use? Yeah, I'll do something.
That rules.
The weird thing is, like, even for Zao, even though we're just like a whatever heavy like kind of crunch band, I needed a nice reverb. And there's
because you guys do, like, I think one of the coolest things about Zao is, you know, when I was a kid, everything sounded pretty homogenized, and then Zao came along, and it was like, you guys were kind of like the first band to really incorporate like black metal style vocals into hardcore, and, you know. Also experiment with clean tones and stuff like that. So I guess you're kicking that on for clean stuff.
Yeah, so this thing does, it's a cave reverb, so it'll like just give you some atmosphere. It also has a slight little like signal boost in it. So if you
cut through while you're soloing,
like if you're distorted, it'll give you a little bit, but if you're clean, it'll, you know how sometimes reverbs will you'll lose a little bit of the high. this thing gives that boost enough to where you don't lose that too much.
That's okay.
So right now, if I'm distorted, so that's like really lightly on.
The decay on it is really great.
Yeah, if you go real far on it,